Okay, so I know we hear this a lot in this community of everything is you pushed out. And I wanted to understand it. I wanted to get it. I was like, hey, okay, I'm getting it. You know, people are just you. I was watching everything that I needed to watch, but I still was just not getting it. And I couldn't logically get it, right? Like my brain couldn't really get it. And today I was watching Know Thyself podcast, and I was watching an episode, and I was just like, hmm. And they were talking about that, like, you know, what you are seeking is also seeking you, and, you know, everything is you pushed out. I started thinking, and a thought of somebody that I had talked to, we were interested in each other, and then it just like, just abruptly just cut off. No, nothing, like no signs, no telling me this is this. And then I randomly bumped into this person, and I just saw them, and we like saw each other, and it was just like nothing. Like we didn't talk, we didn't do anything. It was just like a interesting. But they completely disappeared. So I started, like, it was like literally a flash of just like every time that has happened in my life, and it has happened a lot. And it was like a realization right in that moment that, like, oh my gosh, I get it. Everybody is me pushed out. So the way that God works and everything works, it's not going to be black and white. God does not work like that. God is not going to tell you. And sometimes, you know, we will say like God, you know, is going to tell us, but God is so mystical and magical and so creative that He's not going to just tell you that yeah, go that way. It's like, let's play the game. Let's experience everything. I'm going to tell you it in a little figurative, little way, a little proverb, so that way you could get it. I could tell you that, you know, slow and steady wins the race, but I could make it like, no, there once was a turtle and a hare, and I'm gonna do it like that, and I'm gonna make it all, you know, figuratively, and make it, you know, so that it appeals to the imagination, because that is the base of our spiritual self. And I was like, wow, everybody is me pushed out. But because a lot of times, because we are so logical, we think that if this happens this way, it has to come back this way. And it was like, no. What I was realizing was I would set myself on something, right? I would tell myself, you know what? You're going to do X, Y, Z. This is what you're going to end up doing. You know, you're going to end up, you're going to go to cater yourself today. You're gonna take a love bath. You're gonna cater yourself. You're gonna do your herbs. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do X, Y, Z. This is what you're gonna do. And then I will find myself not doing it, or I would get so excited about a passion or a hobby and all these things that I want to do, and I would have so much energy to do it. I would just be like, yes, this is the thing that I'm gonna do. I just know that this is for me. I'm gonna do this. And I would realize that, oh my gosh, I'm saying that I'm gonna do this thing, and then I would have so much passion, and I would do it for just a little bit of time, and then I would just give up on it. I would just stop doing it. I just wouldn't do it anymore. And I'd be like, dang, you know, that just is. I'm just not. I don't want to know it. No. And I started seeing that reflected back to me, even though I wasn't understanding that it was being reflected back to me. But I was seeing that reflected back to me in relationships. I saw the relationship that I wanted the most was the one that didn't cater to my needs, that did not nourish me, that did not give me the attention, the validation that I wanted, right? And so they would just abruptly kind of like fade away, or abruptly, you know, I said abruptly fade away. It's crazy. They would fade away, or they would just abruptly just cut it out. They're not entertaining me. They're not talking to me. That's just, you know, and some of these things that I wanted to do, that I had the passion for, sometimes I would pick it back up, and I would like, you know what, you're going to really commit to that. Now you're going to do it. And then sometimes I wouldn't go back to it. And that would be the same thing. Sometimes people would come back, sometimes people wouldn't. And I started seeing that every time that I did the whole thing where, like, you know what, I'm going to do this, I'm going to commit to myself, I'm going to love on myself, I'm going to really cater to myself, I started seeing that literally it will pop up in my world that people will come back. The moment that I started loving on myself, caring for myself, people will come back. But then in that moment of me telling myself, I'm going to love on myself, I'm going to cater to myself, this is what I'm going to do for myself, I would see how when I was strong in that, the energy of everybody else was strong towards me. The moment that I started taking it outside of me, and I started picturing and putting them on the pedestal and started taking away from me, I started realizing that they did the exact same thing. You know why? Because everybody is you pushed out. So when you stopped catering to yourself, they stopped catering to yourself. They stopped paying attention to you when you stopped paying attention to you. When you broke the promises to yourself, they started breaking the promises to you. And you are cultivating this whole experience. And when I realized that, like, oh my gosh, and I was like, why do the people who I don't want them, why are the ones who I don't want, why do they want me the most? Because the things that I wanted to let go of and I didn't want in my life, those were the things that I still kept around. Those were the things that it seemed like I wanted those things because those are the things that I gave the most attention to. So the people that I didn't want, the people who didn't do anything like that, that gave me that little sense of validation every now and again, that gave me that little dope of dopamine, I was like, okay, that's cool. Like, okay, we're vibing it out. But then I realized that this was the game. This was the game that I was playing. The game that I was playing was that the things that I didn't want in my life, those are the things that kept coming around. Those are the things that were the strongest things. Those are the things that I really was just like, I still kept around. The habits that I wanted to break that didn't get broken, I still kept them. I still kept them around. The same old self that I talked about in the last video, I still kept it around. It was still something that I just kept around. So what everything was telling me in my reality was how I treat myself. And when people say everything that you have is already in you, everything that you want is already in you, it was like, I literally am asking for all of this stuff, and the thing I have to do is give it to myself. I'm not giving it to myself. I'm not showing myself it. So when I show it in my reality, I react to that thing. I react to the reality of it. I tell myself that this is happening to me instead of this is happening for me, and I react to it, which starts sending out more vibrations that this is what I want in my life. So pay attention to the way that everybody is treating you, because you probably are treating yourself that way. And I know a lot of us like to say that, like, no, because I'm not a cheater. But hear me out on this. Do you cheat on yourself? Do you cheat on yourself? Listen to the things when you say these things like this, like, yeah, I'm gonna cheat on my diet. I'm supposed to be, I got me a cheat day. I got me a cheat day. And then you start bringing in people who are cheaters. You bring in people who don't care about their spouses, that will still talk to you, that will still, and even going back in that, you still may have some subconscious belief about being faithful and people, you still may have that undercover thing, which created that within yourself. So then you start pushing that out, and you start sending that energy out, is that like, I'm going to cheat, and I'm okay with cheating because I do this, that, and the third to myself. I do this, that, and the third. I tell myself that I'm going to do this, but I don't end up doing it. I ended up, not doing that. I told myself I wasn't going to have no sweets, but I still had that cookie. And then I wonder why these cheaters keep coming into my life? Well, how many times have you told yourself something and then you told yourself, I got me a cheat day. This is my cheat day. How many times have you cheated on yourself? Have you promised yourself a thing and then you cheated on it? You cheated on yourself. So that is something that I started realizing, that like, oh my gosh, everything is just telling me how I treat myself, what is going on internally. And then when you go into, and I think I'm going to make this another video about how you're projecting, like when all of this realization came literally today, it was like all the puzzle pieces connected together today. I was like, what? That's crazy. Okay. But if you're playing the stimulation, you have to understand that you are the observer. We are the observer of our lives, but we put the stimulation together. It is based off of our thoughts. So what are you seeing outwardly is based off of internally. It's here. So you projected all of this. You created it. You are creating this. You are plugging into source, and God is just here to be the embodiment. He wants to experience all of it. So He's allowing you to experience all of it because you know why? God is love. God is unconditional love. I'm not judging you for creating this experience because I created you to create the experience that I wanted to see. I wanted to see the totality of what it means to be me. Everything. So because I am everything, you are creating this experience. I want to create this experience. When you get deeper into consciousness, because you understand that you are here to serve a purpose for your higher spirit, to ascend your higher spirit, you can still have fun and maneuver, but you're just the avatar. You're just the avatar. And like I said, I will go more into this in another video, but basically I just want you to understand that like you are reacting to something that you created. And watch what the world is showing you. If you don't like how people treat you, start treating yourself better. Stop thinking it is outside of you. The people are here to just reflect back to you what you got going on. So if you are manifesting things, you have to look at the deeper look of the thing. You have to like really go deep and see, what is this really telling me? When you sit down and be honest with yourself, what is this really telling me? Is this telling me that I love myself, or is this telling me that I don't value myself? Not putting it at the person, because I understand that person did you wrong, but did you do you wrong? Or did you believe that people are going to come and do you wrong? If you have that perception, you are creating that reality. But everything is you pushed out. Everything is always constantly showing you. Always, whether it is your thoughts, whether is it your beliefs, whether it's how you treat yourself, how you treat, what is it that you have going on? It is constantly always showing you. So if you do not like the way that life is going, you don't like the way that people are treating you, then take a deeper look, like I did today. Like I said, wow, I don't like that people just come and go in my life. Like, I don't like that. Why do people do that? Why do people do that? And once I had that realization, I was able to like, well, you know what? How about I start honoring myself in the ways that I want to be honored? The thing about it was, when I was getting such an influx of just like love and appreciation and like all of that stuff like that, it was due to the simple fact that I was like, you know what? I'm about to pour into myself. So what I said, I was like, I'm going to exercise. I'm not exercising to just look a certain way. I have some areas that I want to work on, but I'm not exercising I have to get this ideal shape. I have to look ideally like this. Like, I was not doing that. I was like, this is how I want my body to look and feel. I want to be healthy. This is what it means to be healthy. I'm going to do exercises that work for me. Once I did that, once I slowed down, once I realized what it was that I wanted to do, I want to make sure that internally I am healthy. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, I am healthy. I want to make sure that I'm physically healthy. Okay, taking love baths, that make me feel love, that make me feel wanted, that makes me feel everything like this. All these emotions that you feel, you are feeling them for a reason. And just remember that you're cultivating this space. What do you want to see projected in your life? Do you want to see more love projected into your life? Well, it first starts with you. What does that feel like? What does that look like to you? Okay, well, if you are the creator, then you have to start seeing, okay, when things come your way, when these people come your way and show you what you got going on with you, don't react to their vibe. Like, don't react to that. No, because they're just showing you. You're reacting to you. No, I'm not going to react to that. I'm going to see that. And if I do not like it, here's the wonderful thing about it. You don't have to accept it. Like, somebody come into your life, they're not treating you the way that you want to be treated. You don't have to accept that. It's literally that simple. And it's crazy that it's that simple, because I really was just like, why? I don't have to accept it. I can be like, oh, okay, I see the way this is going. I don't like this. I don't like that you don't do, and you don't cater to me. You don't do what I want you to do in my life. I don't like that. I don't like the way that you're showing up in my life. My phone is like, it's on 20%. So I gotta hurry up. But I don't like the way that you're showing up. Well, let me look at myself. How am I showing up? Oh, I don't like the way that I'm showing up in my life. I don't like the way that this is happening. And you will start seeing that we all know this, that once you start changing, once you start like you know, doing better in life and start upgrading your life and having your little it girl routine and that girl routine and all that stuff like that, all the routines and stuff like this, and you start pouring into yourself, you start realizing everything that you want your life start upgrading and getting better. You know why? You want to know why? You want to know why? Because we just want to say that, like, because you upgraded your life. No, it's because you're creating the new reality. So because you're creating this new reality shifted for you. Reality changed. Because if you're this person who takes care of yourself, who does everything that they say that they're gonna do, who is happy, who's loving, your reality has no other reason but to show you exactly what it is. It's going to show you just that. Like, if you are happy and you are living your best life, you're creating me. So you're going to see a beautiful life, and everything is going to start coming to you, and everything is going to be beautiful. You got people who just love your vibe, who just interested in you. You found your soulmate. You found your soul tribe. Like, you're like, oh my gosh, all this abundance is happening. Your business booming. Everything is just thriving in your life. And of course, you're going to still have moments where life is still going to be life. But that's the thing. Because you started projecting outwardly something different vibrationally, you started seeing a different thing. You started seeing the cup half full instead of half empty. So that's the whole thing about this life that we are creating for ourselves. You have the ability to see it once you stop reacting, once you change inwardly, once you realize that everything is within you, then you won't need to be so attached to what's outside of you, because you realize that, like, everything is just showing you. And that's the beauty of God, that God is always trying to work for you, that, like, I'm showing you what you got going on. You want this beautiful, abundant life. You got it. You're seeing people. You're like, why everybody else get it? You're thinking of that. God is like, you can have it too. I want you to have it. I want you to experience it. If you want to experience this, we're going to be okay over here experiencing this. I'm not going to judge you for experiencing this, because I'm here to experience what you are experiencing. So if this is what you want to experience, okay, we're going to go roll with it. But you know that there is more out there. You know that you can experience the happiness, the joy, the love, the peace, the harmony, all of that good stuff. Yeah, we can go over there and we can experience that too. And I will be still unconditionally loving towards you. So whatever experience you want to experience, I'm going to be here for it. So it is understanding that, pay attention to the way that people are showing up in your life. And if you don't like that, for one, you have the ability to change it. Just simple as you just changing it. Like, you know what? I don't like that. I don't like the way that you're doing that. I don't like that. Okay, I'm just change that. But learn how to have the experience. And that was with me. I was like dictating so much about the experience. I was like, okay, that was supposed to be back there. I was being so attached to the experience, and just any time that somebody came into my life, I was so attached to them in the experience. And I'm like, the way that you're treating me is horrible. But it was really the way I was treating me was horrible. And they were just going ahead and just showing me. They could do nothing but just show me exactly what it was that I was doing to me. So in order I couldn't change them. Now, I mean, you can go deeper into manifestation and do all of that stuff like that, and you changing them, but you don't really change them. You change you. By changing you changes them. That is how everything works, even in manifestation and manifestation community. Okay, yeah, so my video had cut off, but you change you, and from you changing you, that's how everything else in your life starts working, and it changes because you change you. You change your idea, your self-concept, and then everything else starts changing. So if you want better, you have to start doing better. You have to work on you. Everything else is just reacting off of you. Everything else is just reacting off of you. This is your world, and everybody else is just living in it. Honestly, truly. And yeah, that's going to be the end of this video, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.